Good morning, Shlog fans. It is Saturday. It is a beautiful day, and it is time for Dawn Patrol. We are on track for doing Dawn Patrol almost every Saturday. There'll be some Saturdays I don't make it, but we try to meet out here at Peach or Dry Creek or somewhere close to do a ride before I got to go to work on Saturdays, and it is perfect. I mean, look at this. It is absolutely dead calm. The sun's coming up. It's already like almost 40 degrees, so it's perfect. And as the summer goes on, it gets really hot out here at Peach. So really the morning's the only time you really want to ride as it gets closer to summer and into the summer. So, but one of the reasons I love Peach Valley is look at this. This is like, they got this gazebo, there's one over there, there's some over there, there's bathrooms. It's just an awesome place to like unload and stage and go ride. The kids' riding areas are right over there, really close. There's unloading ramps right there, so you can just back your truck up and unload. You don't even need a ramp in the truck. So, yeah, I just love it here. It's awesome. And so, yeah, I'm going to get geared up. And then I just want to, if you guys have been watching long enough, if you pay enough attention to our Facebook page, you know that I really do love YZ250s. I brought old Jolene out today. And here, after I get geared up and take the dog for a quick run, I'm going to just go over what it is I love about the YZ250 and, what this one's got on it. So let's get all geared up and ready to rock. Alright guys, so I got the dog exercise, which is about 3 miles, which is just right for her. And before we go for a ride this morning before work, let me just tell you a little bit about why I love a YZ250. So let's start with, this is a 2007 YZ250. It's got 2008 forks and brake and master cylinder on it because I wanted the smaller brake caliper and better master cylinder from Nissan. So I ended up swapping forks. And it does not have a Recluse auto clutch in it. It's got a Recluse torque drive manual. If you guys have watched the Shlog, you know that. I just put that in. I just replaced it actually just a few days ago. The YZ is brilliant, right? So back in 2006, they came out with the SSS fork. It's a speed sensitive suspension. And the shock is that way too, but the fork is more so. There's a lot going on inside the fork that makes that happen. It's just more sensitive to the speed that the suspension is moving and less sensitive to the position, so like where it is in the stroke. So anyway, that's awesome because these forks work brilliantly. In fact, most tuners would say that when they're valving or working on like WP suspension or Showa suspension or something like that, they're trying really hard to make it more like KYB because KYB just works. So I love the suspension on this bike. It's amazing. Brady Metter at TBT Racing has revalved it and made it even better than stock. But I can say that stock, it's pretty freaking good. But now it's like just amazing. The YZ, it's just a simple motorcycle, right? It's just a simple two-stroke with a carburetor and a gas tank and wheels and brakes. It's just, there's nothing on it that you don't need. It just works, right? And the one downside I could say, honestly, to this bike is it doesn't have electric start. And with guys like me getting older and getting tired, it's a bit of a thing that we don't have electric start. But now that I got my hip replaced, I'm stoked because I think it's going to be just fine. I mean, right now, kickstarting is no big deal at all. It's just a good bike. So this specific YZ250, the only real upgrade, so I've had the suspension valved and touched by TBT and Brady, so that's awesome. I've got flex bars on it because I got old man wrists and elbows and things like that. I've got the Recluse torque drive manual. The only real reason I went with that was because I needed a clutch anyway, and so I called the guys at Recluse. They helped me out. This is not a paid sponsorship. That I paid for it. They just give me a better deal than normal. It's got an 18-inch rear rim, and it's got a kickstand. that is it. Oh, and a big tank. And a bunch of guards. But like, I don't have any performance upgrades under the motor, any of that. If I didn't have the suspension done, I could ride it just fine. So they're just great. And you can buy them for between, you can buy a nice clean one for between $2,000 and $4,000 and just go ride it. Maybe put your skid plate and guards and stuff like that on it so you don't break it. But they're just great bikes. I mean, yeah, they're just great, simple, inexpensive, really, really good motorcycles. So I love them. Let's go ride this one together. Gonna do a little more Peach Valley-y stuff, and to start, and by that I mean more Adobe, kind of faster stuff. That's what this bike was made for. That's how I have it set up. I mean, it's definitely good for the rocks and stuff too, but I definitely have it a little more tuned for going a little bit faster. Oh man, this thing barks so much harder than that KTM. Here we go, candy cane loop, baby. Wow, this thing is so much fun to ride. Yeah! Oh, it's so fast. Oh, yes! Woo! Oh my gracious! Oh, it's so good! Alright, this next section is super fast. And I just love going fast. I know everybody's all about the hard, whatever. That's awesome, I'm happy for you. But man, the reason God put a motor between two wheels is to go fast. Woo-hoo-hoo, here we go. Oh man, that suspension is working so well. Oh yeah, here we go. Right now we're on the Peach Valley Road and we're going to turn onto Bobcat Road. We're going to go to the Sidewinder Trail, which is like halfway between the rim and here, and ride that back over towards Peach Valley. Alright, here we are. This is Bobcat Road, and like I said, you go that way, it goes up to the rim of the canyon, ties into the Red Rocks Night Horse Trail. But we're going to go down this little section of Sidewinder and kind of test this bike out in the rocks. It's not what the bike was made for, it's not really what it's set up for, but let's see how it does. You can hear that carburetor, man. I finally got the electron sorted out. That just makes me happy. Sitting here idling, clutching, in gear, nice and clean. So yeah, let's do this. up. So that was all second gear right through there. Seems like the YZ does okay. Listen to that carburetor. Just butter smooth. It doesn't have the snap that the key in it and the Kuni do, but man, it's forgiving. You can just kind of putt along. Oh boy. This could get interesting. This could get real interesting, actually. There's a lip up here. I hope, man, I hope there's not a bunch of ice on it. Oh, good, we're good. Yeah, nice. Yamaha, please put an electric start on these things. This thing is amazing. That is literally the only thing. The cable operating clutch is fine. The motor is amazing. You can hear it just run. So good. Just so good. So if you're wondering, the Sidewinder still has snow on it. Yes, it does. So, quick frame of reference. Down that way is Eagle Valley Trail. That trail, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but going up, that Spikes Trail goes up to the rim. And we're gonna take that up to the top and shoot a live video up there. What a great day. Seriously good day. Oh my gosh. I love dirt bikes so very much. I can't even describe it. Yes, 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 yes. Almost botched it. Nice work, dude. Yes! Oh, I cannot tell you what a great day it is. So good, so good, so good. All right, go shoot this live video real fast and we'll get back after the riding. Ooh, it's loose. That dirt is loose. It's amazing how fast this stuff dries out. This trail is so cool. is a great little trail. It's short, it's steep, and pretty rocky, pretty tough. Not like the hardest thing in the world, but it's fun. Like I said, this is where I broke my clutch cover last week. Hopefully we stay off the ground today. See if my parts are still here. If they are, I'm going to pick them up. Ah, there's my oil. Hey, there's my parts. All right. Don't want to litter. Turn that gas off. Sweet. That's awesome. Oh, dirt bikes. So funny. That is hilarious. All right. That's good. On the way home. I love this turn up here. Yeah. Bumpers! That's a good dog. That's a good dog. Yeah. That's a good puppers. Ripping ride today, guys. So much fun. Thanks for joining me on that. Oh, man. Dirt bikes, dirt bikes, dirt bikes. So good. Right on, I'm gonna get geared down. I think I got just enough time to run into town, grab a cup of coffee, and get back to work. Let's get on with the daily slog. Right on, guys, we made it to the shop. Did manage to get into town, get a cup of coffee and a scone from my favorite coffee shop in town. If you guys are ever here in Montrose and looking for a coffee shop, Coffee Trader, hands down, best rig in town. We have a Starbucks too, which I like Starbucks also, but Coffee Trader, locally owned, super great people. Anyway, it's awesome. Not paid by them, I just want to give them a shout out. So today we are going to be working on this super hover bike, making it not a hover bike anymore. Probably going to start with greasing up all the linkage, swing arm, and steering head bearings, getting that back on there, so then it's easy enough to put the suspension back on as we get that done. Hopefully we will get the forks done today. It's Saturday. I don't work real hard on Saturdays, honestly. It's part of the deal. So I'm unabashedly taking it easy on Saturdays. Oh guys, something super awesome just rolled into the shop that we get to work on. And I'm so excited. You guys got to check this out. This is a pretty rare situation here in Montrose, Colorado, but boom! Look at that. Oh my gracious. That is a beautiful thing. It runs. It's all good. We got to do fork seals and clean up some oil leak. I'm not sure. He said it leaked when he parked it after riding it, so probably not a big deal. Also got to put a petcock on it and new fuel lines, but oh my gosh, how cool is this? So excited, man. So excited. That is not something you see every day. Definitely not in Western Colorado. Oh man, so cool. All right, let's get to work on these forks. Actually, no, sorry. Greasing linkage and swing arm bearings, then steering head bearings, then forks. All right, let's start with linkage bearings. I know I just did this on something else. Oh, YZ. But I'm gonna show you again on this, partially because it's all the same, which is awesome. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit opposite on the shock. Oh, someone's here. Hang on. Okay, so got those customers just helped out. It's yet again another busy day. Yeah, which is sweet. I love it. So gonna grease this linkage. Like I said, the biggest difference between this and the Japanese stuff is the lower shock bearing on a Japanese bike is actually on the shock, and on the KTM it's in the little tri-link guy. So just a little bit of a difference. Doesn't really make any functional difference, but it is different. So yeah, we're gonna take these apart just like we did the other ones, clean them up, grease them really good. Here is another cool difference between this and the Yamaha. It's hard to see maybe, but look in there, those are caged bearings. Yamaha, come on, get on board. That's a good thing. Oh, my coffee water is ready. Boom. That's gonna be good here in a second. So yeah, that's awesome. I wish that they would all just cage the bearings, because that just makes this whole situation easier. And if you're not a mechanic, you're just a normal person trying to do this, it makes it way more approachable, like easy for just a normal person to do it that has never done it. You stand a way better chance of success with this than you do with the just loose needle. So I don't know, maybe some of the other guys will get on board. Use our Motor X, that grease. Clean this thing up, get in there, and when you're greasing bearings, you really want to make sure you really mush the grease in, because otherwise it just gets pushed out when you slide the race back in. So you want to make sure also when you mush it like that, you can kind of feel the bearings and feel how they're doing. You know, if you get any weird notches or ticking or anything like that, you can replace it. Race looks good. Always want to take a good look at that too, so you don't have any grooves or any kind of weirdness going on there. This doesn't, so we're good. So definitely not awesome, but didn't want to come out at first. But see that? That's not good. That's okay though. I really do think we can clean it up and be okay. If not, I do have a bearing for it, so. All right. it's not gonna work. I was hopeful. It's not gonna work. I could probably do it. Like if we didn't have parts and we had to do it, we could probably make it happen. But we got the parts, so we're gonna do it. We got new bearings here, new everything. So we're just gonna start over. I'm gonna go press those in. I'm not gonna film pressing it in. It's not that exciting. I got a big press. Anyway, it's nice. So gonna put a brand new bearing in that. The rest of these bearings look awesome. So that's why I stock that stuff, is just in case. So I'm gonna swap this thing out. Then we'll take a look at the swing arm bearings. All right, guys, quick tip. I said I wasn't gonna film. I didn't film pushing it in, but quick tip when you are pressing bearings in, I use a press. It's over there. If you have any kind of press or even a vise, you can use a vise. But if you have a bearing that needs to be flush like this, I use a socket. I use the back end of the socket that's too big for the hole, but big enough to fit in there, so it stops positively on the actual part instead of on the bearing. So you don't have to think about it. You don't have to like keep checking to make sure it's in there. So super duper quick tech tip. All right, I'm gonna put this rest of the way back together. Actually bolt it up into the swing arm, and then I'll show you guys what the swing arm bearings look like. All right, so time for some swing arm bearings, or time to look at the swing arm bearings. And here's an interesting thing. Check this out. That's really hard to tell on the camera. Let's see. Anyway, those are not caged. So they use caged in the linkage and not on the swing arm, which is definitely different. Sweet. Right on. All right, thank you. Right on, Mike. All right. So yeah, that's interesting. KTM, well, it's Husqvarna, whatever. Anyway, KTM uses caged bearings in the linkage and not on the other ones. Like, why don't they just get all on board and use caged everywhere? I don't get it. Anyway, I'm gonna do these just like the other ones. These ones look great, so I'm not gonna film it. Just gonna move them out of the way, grease them, push them back in, be all good to go. All right, so got the swing arm bearings greased, all ready to go. Gonna slap the swing arm back on. Then we're gonna grease the steering head bearings, and then that's probably gonna be the end of the day. It has been a crazy day, but I have to tell you guys an awesome story. So, oh, this is so great. So, kid came in, YZ250F 2019, super nice bike, and he's like, "Hey man, I need a tube. Can you do that?" Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of why I take it easy on Saturdays with big projects, because I want to be able to do things like put tubes and tires, get things ready so people can like get back out riding, right? So they don't have to miss a day or whatever. So anyway, brings the bike in, like I said, nice 19 YZ250F. Put the thing on a stand, and let me just stop and say I'm super sorry I didn't film this, because I think he would have been okay with it, but I just, you never know, right? Anyway, so I didn't film it, but anyway, put the bike on the stand, take the back wheel off, and this is what this sprocket looked like. I mean, I can't even, like, there, that's an even better. Look at that. So I was like, dude, I can definitely fix your flat, but we really should fix this too. He's like, oh, is that bad? I'm like, yeah, no, it's real bad. I know it kind of hard to tell if you're not, if you're not in tune. I get it. Like, you're not staring at him all day like I do. So I went and got him a new one, and I showed it to him, and he's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, we need to replace that. So super stoked to get him squared away. His chain needs to be replaced too, but he really just didn't have the money for that. So we got a sprocket on there. I told him to start saving his money up for a chain, like, soon. We got to adjust it. He's going to be all right. It'll be fine for a little while. Hopefully next week he can get in here and get a chain on it. But yeah, it was awesome. And then the other hilarious thing that happened during that whole situation that oh man, it's just so funny. He goes, I didn't ask him if I could put him on here, so I'm not going to mention his name. Although I have a feeling he wouldn't care at all. But anyway, he's like, as I'm changing his tire, he's like, so, I see you're TikTok famous. And I started dying laughing because If you guys haven't followed us over on TikTok, I do have a TikTok account, and it is actually pretty huge for me. It's like 32,000 followers, which is funny. This cracks me up. But I was like, yeah, I guess I am. And he's like, that's cool. And I'm like, right on, he's a young kid. And anyway, it just actually meant a lot. It actually was really cool. I laughed a lot. We giggled about it because, I mean, I'm an old man. And he thought it was awesome that we have a TikTok account and that it's doing really well. So anyway, super cool. I'm going to slap this swing arm back on the Husky and then hopefully get these steering head bearings greased and put together. And then I'm going to shut her down and go home and watch Supercross because tonight is Daytona. And I am hoping for Ken Roczen to kick some butt, although it's an outdoor kind of track and Eli Tomac definitely excels there. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. Life's good. Dirt bikes are awesome. They bring people together. I love it. All right. Steering head bearings. This is a good thing to look at. So actually all of what we're doing today on these bearings, I'm really excited to show you guys and hopefully inspire you guys to check and do, because as we saw on that lower shock mount, if we hadn't checked this, if we hadn't done this part of the service on this bike, he was definitely going to ruin that bearing and then eventually that link, because it would have seized up and caused problems. But more importantly, honestly, is that probably that bike is not working well, or wasn't working well. The shock probably was not moving like it's supposed to. In fact, I would say definitely not probably, but 100% was not working like it's supposed to, because when you have a seized up, locked up bearing like that, it just doesn't move smoothly, which I don't need to explain to you. But anyway, so I'm stoked. We caught it, right? Before the race season starts, before this whole season starts, we caught it, and we got it taken care of. He's going to be on the road, on the trail, rock and rolling with no issues. So same with these steering head bearings. Now, they're not as bad as that, but they're pretty dry. Fortunately, they're not rusted. They don't need to be replaced, but you know, they don't have a lot of grease on them. So really happy that we're taking a look at these. We're going to spray them off with a little bit of brake cleaner. Going to clean them up really good. And then we're going to jam grease into there. When you use brake cleaner, you definitely want to dry things off. My lens is no good. Hang on. There we go. You want to get that brake clean out of there, not because it's going to damage anything, but it's a degreaser, so you want it out before you put the new grease in. Otherwise, it'll keep it kind of too liquid and it could run out. And anyway, so it makes sense, right? Get that stuff out, put the grease in, and then you're good to go. So I am very benevolent with the grease, because you want it in that, down in the bearing, right? You want it down in those rollers, and you don't want to skimp on this, because if you make a little bit of a mess, like, you know, like you get it on the triple clamp or whatever, you can wipe that off. What you can't do is fix rusty bearings out on the trail. So really goop that in there. It feels, trust me, it's a good thing. I kind of like to take my finger and like push down and get it in the bearing like that. And then, like I said, don't be afraid to push it in there. Don't be afraid to make a mess. Who cares if you get some grease up in here? That's not going to hurt anything. It can live there until the next time you do this. So there's that. Now, clean this bearing. This one's a little easier because it's off the bike, or off the steering stem, so we can really get that down in there, do our thing. It's okay to make a bit of a mess. You can always wipe this up later. So we're going to go up in there, and we're going to take our bearing, and you got to get it to go down, and usually they stay like that, so we're lucky. Sometimes they don't, and that's a real nightmare. It's okay though. Take our cover. Is next. Get that on. O-ring. One of the coolest parts about the KTM setup is that O-ring, because that honestly, I think, is what does most of the work in keeping these things in good shape longer than a lot of bikes. So, we got triple clamps. And right now, we just want to get this in there and get it snug up so it won't fall out. But we don't want to tighten it because we're going to have to move these things probably. Well, definitely right now they're not lined up at all. The triple clamps aren't lined up. But we're going to need the forks to come up in there to actually line them up. Then we can actually torque this all down. But I am going to put a wrench on that thing and just snug it down so it doesn't fall. And the torque spec on this, I'll look it up before I actually finish torquing it. I think it's 22 Newton meters. One of you guys should comment below what it is, so it's written down. I can't ever remember off the top of my head, because like these are 17, these are 15. They don't mark it on here, but I think it's like 22. It's not much, right? It's not a ton. And that's honestly the coolest thing about the KTM rig on this, is that like it's just a torque spec and you're done. You tighten this pinch bolt and you're good. With Yamahas, Hondas, Kawasaki's, they got the castle nut in there and it's a pain in the butt. I mean, I love Japanese bikes, you guys know that, but that's one of the things I don't love. So if ever you're thinking I'm talking all bad about European bikes, that's not the case. All right, so that's good enough for now, because like I said, we got to move everything to do it. Yeah, that's awesome. So I do not have time to do these forks. I know I said I was going to. I'm sorry that I didn't. It was a crazy, busy, awesome day, so that's the way it is. But we will be definitely doing these on Tuesday. This is, by the way, this is Saturday, last day of the Shlog for the week. I will try to get actually some, I got at least one tech video, YZ bottom end, that I haven't posted separately. So I'm going to try to get that done for the rest of this weekend, so you guys can have some more content from Highland Cycles. But yeah, we're going to be doing fork seals. They're Explorer 48s. I've done those before, but I will show you these again because these ones have the preload adjusters, and I'll show you how those work. It's pretty cool. And then we got an Explorer link shock. I've done an Explorer PDS shock before. I'll show you guys how to do this Explorer link shock. We're going to be putting another nitrogen needle in there, so that's going to be cool. Since it's the end of the day, and the end of the week, let's walk around and take a look at all the cool stuff we got coming up. So, big job here. Got a KTM 950 Adventure, just showed up today. Cam chain tensioner is no good. It's no good. It makes a lot of really bad noises. But I'm pretty sure it's just a cam chain tensioner, so we're gonna get that fixed. Got to order a part for that from DIRTBIKES. Also, fork service. So that'd be a good one. I haven't shown you guys that. We're gonna do fork service on the Adventure forks. They're a lot like the open chamber. Well, basically they are open chamber forks, but you know, they'll be different. We're gonna put a heavier weight oil in it because it's a big heavy bike, and the guy riding it is a big heavy guy. Kurt, I know you're watching Prospector Soils. So I don't mean that he's fat. I'm just saying he's a big guy. And oil change, and anyway, a bunch of stuff. That's awesome. I'm excited because I like those bikes a lot. Then we got this super cool bike, ZRX 1100. We're going to be figuring out its running issue because it's got one of those. It doesn't seem to want to run for very long. I think it's a fuel delivery problem, so we're going to sort that out. We also got to do something with the forks because we got one adjuster has more clicks than the other one, so something going on there. XR400, we got a stator ordered for that. Oil leaking all over the floor, sadly, because anyway, that happens. It's not my favorite. Got this guy, number 75709 YZ250F apart. Waiting on the customer to give me a call about that. Give me some more money for parts because it needs more parts. I am gonna get to the DR. Like that DR It and the Suzuki, the little 125. Although the DR is not a problem child. It's straightforward. But anyway, the 70, I got a carburetor coming for it, so we'll be doing that. And let's see what else we got. Husqvarna, doing fork seals, tires, looking at the chain and sprockets, might be doing that, fixing an oil leak, bunches and bunches of things going on with that. That's probably going to be a week or two out, honestly, just because I got to find parts. I don't even know where to find parts. Actually, comment below if you know where to find parts for that old WR250 or 250WR, whatever you want to call it. By the way, that thing is so cool. Anyway, so excited to work on that. Then we got WR450, carburation issue, and a fork seal leak. So, yeah, we got lots of work. And people calling, anyway, lots of stuff coming, so down the pike. But, yeah, very, very exciting times at Highland Cycles because it's spring and it's awesome and the weather's great. Guys, I love you all so very much, and I cannot tell you how thankful I am that you watch all these ramblings and all this stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All my patrons, you guys, I just seriously can't thank you enough for all the support. I hope you guys enjoy this Shlog. I hope you like Saturdays with the riding and the working and the stuff and the craziness. It's a lot of fun. This is my life. This is what I love to do. This is what I love to share. I hope you guys have a great day. Get out, spread the gospel of two wheels, and please, 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 it's going to make your life better if you find some time to ride your dirt bikes.